Hello! Earlier today on the radio I heard an interesting statistic. They said that 97% of people give up on their New Year's resolution within 3 months of the following year. Now, how accurate is that? I'm not quite sure. However, when I think back on my own New Year's resolutions, well, only 3% of those have stuck. However, when it comes to real estate and we set goals, we tend to achieve those very well. So I started comparing the two. What's the difference between setting our basic goals, it might be in personal or other business related deals, versus our real estate goals where we have a lot of success? And we started noticing it comes down to how we break those goals down. So today we're going to start our two-part mini-series, which is to help us as real estate agents really get refined at our goal setting and then break it down so we can achieve them. So we're going to get set into that. It's a two-part series. Follow our next video as well, which is what we call our number of actions or NOAA video, to make sure you execute on your upcoming goals. All right, looking first, we're going to do the step that most people do when they're setting their real estate goals. We got to know it though, so we can keep digging in further so we can ideally achieve. Looking at setting our basic income or setting our income goals. We need to know two things for our step 1 and 2. The first step is what most folks will naturally just be doing when they're setting their goals in real estate. We need to know what is our revenue goal. You could also say income goal. And then we need to know how much do we typically net per commission when we make a sale, our average net commission. The math of figuring out, okay, hey, I want to make $200,000 in real estate. What's that look like? Most folks will then just naturally break that down to number of sales. So we take our revenue goal, divide it by the average net commission, and that gets us the number of sales we need to make. So let's say I have a goal of making $200,000. My average net commission that I get, let's say, is $5,000. You do $200,000 divided by $5,000. That means you need to do 40 sales to achieve that revenue or income goal. Pretty simple. That's where a lot of folks will go, great, I just broke that down. I need to go out there now and I need to sell 40 homes or properties to get there. Okay, that comes out to a little more than 3 per month, right? They might even go to that next step. That, though, is where most people stop, and that is also where most people will end up not achieving their goals. So how do we break it down just a little further to increase our odds of success? I would say the next step is simply turning it into dollar volume. This way you have an idea of number of sales, but you also need to have essentially a magnitude tied to that of how much volume you need to move. Just because you know the number of sales, if some things end up lower sales or higher sales, you need to know how much volume just as a whole I need to get. So how do we calculate how much volume we need? We already have our number of sales. The next piece we just need to know is what is our average sales price when we make that net commission. So what's the average sales price of a property that we do? Let's say it's $200,000. You sell a property for $200,000. That's what gets you typically to that $5,000. That might be because your broker splits, or if you're at 2.5% commissions, it'd be roughly about the whole thing. Let's just say it's $200,000. That means my average sales price is $200,000. I multiply that by number of sales, which we determined up here, and I get how much volume I need. 200,000 multiplied by the 40 that we have in this scenario here, we need to sell $8 million worth of real estate. This is now helping me refine it a bit. All right, to hit my goal of $200,000, I need to sell 40 properties or $8 million worth of real estate. This way, when opportunities come around, I have a good gauge of what I need to do to achieve it. This gets us partway there. And again, most folks will figure this piece out. A few I know will get this far. But what gets it so that the top producers actually hit their goals of hitting the 200,000? That's our next video. This one here helps get us in that place. And now we're going to look at what are those number of actions we need to take to get to achieving this goal. Thanks for watching.